What happens when living our best life goes wrong? Sometimes tragedy strikes in the most abhorrent times in our lives. You may get approved for a new home and a family emergency comes about, requiring your full financial attention, making buying a new home no longer feasible. You may have just gotten that promotion, but your tire goes flat on the first day, making you late to work, effectively losing you the job. Unfortunately, the circumstances were much more dire for Ayanta Jarmon and her family when tragedy struck. If you like this sort of content or wish to support me on my crusade of getting justice for those who have gone unheard, then please consider subscribing, liking the video, and leaving a comment if you wish. Some of these cases may be time sensitive, so please consider turning on post notifications so that you can be informed of any future posts. Ayanta was a bright young woman that had just graduated from Reynoldsburg High School and had just been accepted to the University of Cincinnati. Ayanta was a cheerleader and a track star that made a friend out of anyone she met, and her community loved her. It was on July 29, 2022 that a time that should have been filled with celebration and happiness would be turned into mourning and loss.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Thank you for coming. The Columbus Division of Police and the Criminal Investigation Subdivision would like to talk about a series of incidents we've had that began on Friday night and continued through yesterday evening. And then at the end, we'd like to ask the public for their assistance in solving these series of crimes. On July 29, 2022 at 11:35 p.m., officers were dispatched to 2727 Fairwood Avenue on a report of a shooting. We had two individuals shot at that location. One, a 16-year-old male, survived his injuries. Another, an 18-year-old adult female, was deceased. At this time, we believe that there was a party at that location and that an altercation ensued, which escalated into an armed confrontation. We are looking for witnesses out of that. We know that there was approximately 100 people at that party. We are asking for the public to help. We are looking for video. We are looking for photos. We have identified some individuals that were at the party. We would like to talk to others. We know that there are individuals that are familiar with the subjects involved, and we are asking for their assistance to come forward.
According to Ayanna's mother, LaShonda Campbell, as stated in an appearance on the Getting Grown podcast on an episode dedicated to her daughter, which will be linked below, Ayanta came home from a long day of work. Ayanta and her mother sat down to have dinner. During this time, Ayanna asked permission to go bowling with some friends from track. After Ayanna expressed that she would only have 2 weeks left to hang out with her friends before moving away to go to college, her mother reluctantly said yes, sending her out with a 1 a.m. curfew. LaShonda dozed off. Ayanta returned home around 9 p.m., assumably to get ready for the next plan of the night, that plan being a party. It was around 11 that LaShonda had woken again and began checking in with her daughter, but to no avail. She proceeded to check her daughter's location, which turned out to be in an unsafe neighborhood in the 2700 block of Fairwood Avenue. After a few more attempts, LaShonda put her mind at ease and dozed back off. Shortly after, there was pounding at her door. When she opened it, she was greeted by 3 of Ayanta's friends. They expressed that there had been a shooting at the party, the same party that Ayanta was attending. 2 individuals were shot that Friday night. A 16-year-old boy, who was the original target of another group of individuals, and Ayanta, who was just an innocent bystander. After arriving to the location and being met with resistance from the officers on scene, LaShonda was told that the female victim had been transported to the hospital. Once LaShonda arrived, she was informed that her daughter was deceased.
When our community suffers loss, it's not just any one individual or any small group, it's all of us. We are all here mourning tonight with the family.
The Reynoldsburg community coming together tonight to honor the life of a young woman taken too soon. 18-year-old Ayanta Jarmon was shot and killed on Friday. Thank you for joining us for NBC4 at 11. I'm Sierra Johnson. Loved ones say she was kind and had a smile that would light up an entire room. NBC4's Eric Halperin is in Reynoldsburg tonight as the community keeps her memory alive.
Sierra, Ayanta had just graduated high school here in Reynoldsburg and was supposed to be going off to college in a couple of weeks. She was on the cheer team, and those here tonight say her impact was felt on the field, off the field, and around the community.
Candles lined up outside the Reynoldsburg High School Livingston campus, hundreds gathering, some holding on to each other. some holding purple and yellow balloons, the same colors Ayanta Jarmon wore as she cheered for the Raiders.
Just a light, I think the attendance here tonight lets you know how much she impacted our entire community.
She wasn't just on the cheer team. She also spent at least 2 years on the track team. Her coaches say she was the type of student athlete to do everything with a smile.
Such a bright future ahead of her.
But that future was taken away from her. Columbus police say Ayanta was shot and killed in the 2700 block of Fairwood Avenue on Friday night. According to investigators, someone shot into a crowd at a party, hitting a 16-year-old who's expected to be okay, and Ayanta.
Just unfortunate, we lost a beautiful soul, and yes, it's just hard.
Ayanta's mom says her daughter went by AJ. She says she was a bright, smart young lady who would always make herself available to help others. She says the 18-year-old was one of a kind, with a smile that would light up a room. Her track coach noticed the smile too, especially when he asked her to run a new race.
She thought about it for a minute and said, okay, I'll do it, with a smile. And that's how I remember her, is that dang smile she had when she told me that she was going to do it.
The family is hoping anyone who has information comes forward with it. Police are hoping for that too. If you have any information, you're asked to call Columbus Police. Local for you in Reynoldsburg, I'm Eric Halpern, NBC4.
The community rallied behind LaShonda in support of Ayanta and her family. Reynoldsburg High School released a statement urging anyone with information to come forward and held a vigil on school grounds in her honor. Sadly, it will be roughly a year before any breaks in the case would occur. On or around May 10, 2023, Tyshawn Jenkins, also a Reynoldsburg High School student, was apprehended and indicted on 2 counts of M, along with other charges. There was little to no new information regarding Jenkins' case, but in light of his arrest, I would like to send my condolences and prayers to Ayanta's family, friends, and the community that was devastated by her loss. The school now has a scholarship fund in her honor so that her memory may never be forgotten. It's sad to see such a young life be lost in such senseless gun violence. It's something that we see very often these days. It doesn't make it any less sad.
A Central Ohio family is keeping their daughter's legacy alive. It's been more than a year and a half since 18-year-old Ayanta Jarmon was shot and killed.
And not a day has gone by where her parents and the Reynoldsburg school community have not thought about her. They are now honoring her in a new way. NBC4's Eric Halperin is in Reynoldsburg to show us how. Eric?
Jen and Jared, this community was special to Ayanta Jarmon. She loved her school, her friends, and her teammates. Even though her life was taken much too soon, she's still making her mark here through a new scholarship.
This is the way her room would have been.
Anyone who knew Ayanta Jarmon knew Reynoldsburg meant a lot to her. Her parents still have her cheer bags, pictures of her in her cheer uniform, and her varsity jacket.
Spring, winter, summer, she was wearing her varsity jacket, and that's because she wanted everyone to know where she was from, Reynoldsburg.
She went by AJ. Her mom, LaShonda Campbell, says the room's set up like this because if AJ were here, this is how she'd have it.
I don't think we would have gotten through the days that we have gotten through without this community.
That community and those colors showed up at a vigil for AJ in the summer of 2022. Police say she was shot and killed at a party. She was just 18 years old, had just graduated high school, and was getting ready to go to the University of Cincinnati.
She was just a beautiful child. I miss my baby. But she was truly loved in the community.
Her mom and dad say even at a young age, she was inspirational. They say she was quiet, but always took care of others, especially her cheer team. In a way, she's still taking care of them.
It's just one of those things that we know this is what she would have wanted us to do.
AJ's parents have created a scholarship in her honor for a senior on the cheer team. The $1,000 scholarship is from money AJ made working.
I think just seeing her name on that scholarship does a lot. It makes them want to apply because they know it is something that she enjoyed to do, being a cheerleader, as well as just being a great person.
And AJ's parents stay in touch with the cheer team. They say while senior members appreciate the financial side of this scholarship, what's really special is they see this as a way to be connected to AJ. Local for you in Reynoldsburg, I'm Eric Halpern, NBC4.
If you wish to hear the specific details of Ayanta's passing from her mother, LaShonda, check out the aforementioned podcast for free. This has been Morbid Stories with Slayer. And until next time, stay safe and keep your head on the swivel so you don't get hit with that nickel.